Coach JT. Before I get started, shout out to TSU. You already see it, so I came prepared. I knew my guy was coming prepared. Shout out to Alcorn State University, both SWAC schools, both alumni, man, HBCU alum. My guest today, man, he's a Sacramento native. Spent some time down in Texas. Man, got started on his craft early down there too as well, on the field, in the gym, just interviewing people, doing interviews, man, his media, his entrepreneurship as far as what he's doing with himself. But he came home, man. We love home. We leave, go down south, we come back home. But this joint right now, you can find a man writing articles for the B, many different platforms for himself, but also in the place to be at the right time. We just talked offline a little bit about meeting up, crossing paths. We're both active in our own little activities, but now it's like timing of it, but also what our goals are, what we're going to do for ourselves. It's time for it. So, man, I appreciate Mr. Marcus Smith for stopping by tonight. And we're filming here live, man, people at Our Place Event Space, 1107 Firehouse Alley. Man, tap in Our Place. We got a full indoor kitchen. You got outside, indoor. You got patio access, man. We got the invitation room. Just tap in, Coach. I'm sorry, I said Coach. Chef D and Maya Dennis, man, the co-owners of Our Place Event Space, man. Tap in. Y'all don't want to miss or the opportunity to have an event here. Throw your parties. Come down, hang out, and some of the great food. All right. Again, shout out to Our Place Event Space. But now, to my guest, man, Marcus Smith, man. Let's just talk about, before we get to the college, I know we're going to have fun talking about HBCU time, man. HBCU
Yeah, you know that, man. You know that.
Just give me about where you're from, man, growing up. How was that?
Man, I mean, you said it, growing up here in Sacramento, 916.
Yes, sir.
Man, raised in North Sacramento.
Okay.
Then a lot of growing up, it was in Elk Grove.
Okay.
And man, it was interesting growing up. I had a great time. I mean, it was during the generation of actually playing outside. So
Sure.
it was a lot of biking, it was a lot of just activities, sports, playing on the playground, just like a normal kid,
Yep.
Went to Franklin High School.
Okay.
Graduated in 2012.
Okay.
And man, I played basketball there.
That's what's up.
My freshman, sophomore, senior year.
Okay. Head coach there at the time, Formaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. He was a varsity head coach.
Okay, yeah. So I was at Kennedy coaching then. We had a couple run-ins with him, man. I definitely shout out to that group. 12. Let's see. I know I coached against Shoots for a minute. I know Ellimon was there for a minute. We called a couple Franklin kids, man. They were always loaded. Y'all had the new school, had new facility. Everybody from the South just moved further south. I'm like, y'all taking all South Side kids further, but shout out to Franklin, man. Actually, they on our schedule this year, man. So, man, Freddie, coming for you.
Oh yeah, I got to see that game, man. I got to be at that game for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's funny though that you say that. I mean, that's kind of what Elk Grove is. It's like South to South Sac. That was always the kind of the inside joke or the inside kind of talk. It's South to South Sac. If you want to know where Elk Grove is, and yeah, that did happen. It did take a lot of players away. Can't.
I mean, think about it. What kid wouldn't want to move a little further, some new stuff, new opportunities?
What it is, right? It's really the parents. I don't think kids have much of a say too much. I think it's the parents.
True.
When you look at Elk Grove in 2000, when it really became incorporated
nice,
as a city,
bro. You wanted to get
it was everyone wants to live in a new upcoming neighborhood, where houses
outside courts that was nice.
Exactly. Back when we used to play outside.
Man, parks that was nice. Yeah, definitely.
So like when you take all that into consideration, I think it just made sense, and that's why they had to continue building schools on top of schools, because at first in Elk Grove there were only Laguna Creek.
Yep. And that was considered Elk Grove, right? Laguna on one side, Elk Grove on the other
side, and that was the majority of it. So as over time it built up. The city built up. Obviously, like you said, people end up moving, but it's and Elk Grove's still growing to this day.
True. Further back, you talked about playing ball a little bit, man. I mean, I gotta ask all my guests, whatever sport they're involved in, they're kind of clinging to. What were some of the people or who was you kind of looking at, man? Like, okay, I'm studying my game. I want to be like this dude. Who was those idols, man, for you growing up, bro?
Man, it's funny that you say that, bro, because like I was literally just thinking about this the other day. I was like, man, it's crazy when you see like the players that you grew up watching and idolizing, and now they're on commercials, retired Hall of Fame, and R.I.P. to Kobe. That's one of them. So yeah, getting your list. I'll start with Kobe. My all-time favorite player growing up, was Allen Iverson. That's where I patterned my game off of. And then kind of in the later days. You got a love for Chris Paul,
CP3.
Russell Westbrook,
Guard.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a guard myself.
Yep.
So Kyrie.
Yeah. Hey, let's not people.
Isaiah Thomas, Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. No disrespect to IT, Mr. Irrelevant.
True.
Him too, but
he was tough. But yeah, Zeke.
but Zeke. I think a lot of people sleep on Zeke.
They do
when it comes to like the old school players, right?
I think that bad persona for him, the media, and the Michael Jordan issue thing overshadows. But
I think
he was legit, bro.
Oh, he was a legit
dog.
hooper, bro. A dog for real, like you said. And that's actually one of the reasons why I know I'm jumping a little too far, but actually one of the reasons why I got into media, sports media in particular, is because I think too many times we kind of take all these narratives of like what's going on outside of the game instead of really focusing on the X's and O's, the basketball, and this play right here, and creating a legacy and things like that off that. Because like for a guy like Isaiah Thomas to be left off of different lists and
there's no way, like when legitimately everybody you may talk to about him when he played against him, be like he was
certified.
He was it. Yeah, like, he stamped right. Like give that dude his props. He stamped
absolutely
on the court. He was a terror. I'm like, yeah, everybody had to go through the growth pains, right? But then once he realized, okay, not just even more so me, team too, he was like another level. But he was a dog. Like you can't. Come on, man. Who wanted to play against Zeke? You didn't want to go against him.
It was gonna be a hell of a night. You had a hard night sleeping the night before.
You didn't want to see him. I know that, man. That's what's up, man. And that's a good thing. But that's okay. You went to that because we can get into that too a little bit. So just as you're at an early age, you did have that kind of outside of playing though. That you had a kind of knack for thinking like the opposite. People always think maybe one way perspective, like you giving up light on certain things, other perspective on that.
I think that's more of a mature state of mind where I'm at right now. Okay. Growing up, I mean, when you're a kid, you're just, I want to play sports, whatever my sport is. And then for me personally, it was after I'm done playing my sport, I want to report on my sport. I want to be on the TV and everything else, on the radio and in the newspapers, writing about my sport. Yeah. And so I think just kind of seeing guys that have done it before that have accomplished that, like the Stuart Scotts, the Stephen A. Smiths, and there's many more out there, but I think those two in general were like kind of the first ones. Obviously, them being black had a lot to do with that.
True.
Seeing a reflection of
especially
yourself.
It was Stuart Scott, man. Seeing that early on, I was like,
yeah.
But the brother was so relatable. His slang or his slogans was like, I can watch Stuart Scott all day, every day.
And that's and that's why today I love when Mark Jones does play-by-play.
Bro,
because
it's different.
It's different, but like
it's different.
Like I'm really big on giving people their flowers, and like I think Mark Jones really deserves his flowers because like if there's anybody that Stuart Scott's like smiling down on right now, it's definitely got to be Mark Jones.
Because it's his energy, his auras, right? Even though I hear him, everybody's just like when he's on a game that I don't want to watch as much, I'm gonna watch it because. And what he's gonna say, he's gonna keep me entertained.
Yeah,
the game may be kind of something. He's gonna give. I don't know what's coming. He's gonna say something that's gonna give me kind of like that was tight. Or how do you think of that? Like how do you think of some stuff on the spot, bro? Like,
one of those like if you know type thing.
He'd be telling you like if you relate, he'd say something. Like, I caught that. He might caught that. I definitely like that, man. He's definitely dope. His grit is what he does. I know it takes reps, but also, man. So again, for us, I think it's relatable. Right? Times change.
Yeah.
For him to be a OG in the game now, but also be able to keep our attention and probably I don't know if the young kids they don't watch as much as we do, right? But I'll still watch who. I watch it when he's on. I definitely gotta stick to it, bro.
Absolutely,
like, it makes me stick to it, man. That's what's up. Franklin High School, right?
Yeah.
Playing career. Now, coming out of high school, was TSU the first option, the only option? What was that like for you? Nowadays, kids they got options to go all kinds of schools. They get all kinds of options to go different places, bro. They get to go travel and visit, bro. It's open for them. My family's from Mississippi, but I didn't go visit Alcorn down there. I got dropped off.
Oh, wow.
But my grandparents stayed like 30 minutes away, so I was blessed for that. My mom's side's from there, but I was like, it wasn't like, oh, let's go take a visit here, go take a let's go visit. Or I walked on to Alcorn too, so it wasn't like I already had. They wasn't coming for me like that. So what was it like for you trying to get down to Texas or wherever your options were?
Oh man, shout out mom and dad, man. Mom specifically because she let me know from the jump. She said, we're not visiting a bunch of schools. So whatever school you feel like you want to go to or you want to go visit, you want to see, let's go there just so you can have an idea of what it's like. And if you want to go to a different school, that's on you. But otherwise, wherever we go to, wherever school we visit, that's where you're going.
Wow.
She told me this my senior year of spring break.
A few months before it was over.
A few months before spring break was only a week,
Yeah.
at that time. So I think it still is. I don't know, but yeah. So a few months before, she tells me, get an idea, and so I'm kind of breaking things down. Shout out UCAN, because I went to one of the HBCU tours that was held out Valley High School many years ago now.
Shout out to Mr. Rowe, man. They sent a ton of Sacramento kids to
Dr.
HBCUs all around.
Yeah, man. So I ended up getting a bunch. You know how it goes. You go and then you get a bunch of like immediate on the spot stuff. From scholarships to enrollment, all that. I got like 33 different schools.
Okay.
And
that boy was academically ready too. Then that means he had to take care of them books. Y'all don't think to anybody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, take care of them.
books. I had to take care of them books, man. Basketball wasn't going nowhere for me.
There you go.
After high school, basketball wasn't going nowhere. I thought I was good. Friends, family, teammates, everybody thought I was good, but.
Gotta be real to ourselves sometimes.
You gotta be real. You gotta be real. The basketball is a game of giants.
Logistically, point guards are 6'4" now, 6'9", 6'8" point guard now. It's definitely
exactly. Sure. So there's some things I could have worked on. I always take accountability for myself. Things I could have worked on.
Oh, me too, bro.
But overall, looking at it, I was like, unless I work 100 times harder than the next person, which I was not doing. I'm like, basketball's not going to cut it for me. I'd rather let's hurry up and focus on this education side.
There you go. Yeah, for sure.
But no, seriously. Where was I? The different scholarships and things like that. TSU. I just knew that it was in Houston, a big city. I asked everybody what's their communications program like. I didn't know specifically journalism. Right. I just knew what I wanted to do. So people said, okay, that's like in the communication major, right? So broadcasting. I'm like, okay, I'll go talk to people about that.
Right.
They told me TSU, Alabama A&M,
Huntsville. That's where my twin went to school at.
Okay,
my boys, they went to Huntsville. My partners from SAC too, and my sister. So shout out to Huntsville. They got thumped, I think, in that game. I ain't gonna say that.
Oh man, but shout out them Bulldogs.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Who else? It was Howard, of course.
Okay. A little further east.
Hampton is just another school that I wanted to go to, but they also had a rival communications department.
Okay.
They have to. Howard's right next door. They have to. Yeah. And then I think the other one was I want to say Lincoln in Pennsylvania.
Oof. Further all the way.
Yeah, but that's also my sister's alma mater. So
okay,
so there might have been a little bit of bias there too.
Okay, it's all good.
But no, but those are like the top 5 that I like can think about the top of my head. Then there are also some schools in Atlanta, but never mind that. It was between those schools.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, well, Houston is like it's closest to California.
You can still get home if you need to.
Yeah, it's a quick flight,
True.
So I'm like, let's go see what Houston's about.
Okay.
And plus I love the Houston culture.
Okay. So gotta ask you, because when I first went to TSU, I know my thoughts. I'm gonna get yours first, because I'm like, schools, different area locations. What was your thoughts when you drove through the neighborhood, and what was that like for you?
I was like, man, this is nice.
Really?
This is nice. And then I kept driving. I was like, oh,
we in the that's why waiting on. We in the hood.
I was like, okay.
Smack dad in the hood.
I was like, okay, this is reminiscent of South Sac.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I know where I'm at. I was like, I know where I'm at. All right. I was like, but I was just really enamored by the fact that there were so many black folk around.
Different, bro.
Different black folk too. Like, come from different walks of life and things like that. And it's just, I don't know, that first impression, it was just culturally different.
Especially when we grow up out here with such diverse.
Yeah.
Which is great, right?
Amazing.
But then to be able to go shift and be like, I'm all around our people who would want to be doctors, lawyers, band musicians, or singers or dancers, but everywhere like, but then also like, they really out here. We out here on the same grind though. It's not easy for us out here, even though people, it look good on TV now, right? But it's not easy. I'm like, but also the relationships. I tell people, man, the ups and downs you go through, those struggles, these natural disasters that we had to experience down there through schools because lack of resources, right? I was like, but that thing was like, it was just so dope. But also the culture was heavy, man. Like people, we really respect HBCU people regardless, no matter where you went, right? It's still like a hidden, it's like a together family thing, right? But yeah, we got our school rivalries, but it's like, you know what? You went there, that appreciate you. I know what you've been through. I can feel some of your pain, bro. I've been, some of the struggles. I'm like, man, that was so different. But also just to get able to just experience that, man. Like it was a whole nother, I guess, like time in my life. So I spent 4 years down at Alcorn. It was just like, man, grew up a lot. I mean, them struggles, stuff like that. How are you maintaining not being having the home resources, but being down there? Was that a difficult part for you to probably kind of stick it out or stay down there?
No, not really for me. I mean, I knew, and I had a little, and having an older sister, like a year older, like that's doing it as well, like further east. I think that kind of helps a lot, just from me always being a competitor, So just from that standpoint alone, it was kind of like, all right, I'm down here doing my thing, and so.
Cool, man.
Because I was in a relationship and things like that going on at the time, so it's like it wasn't just necessarily me.
Yeah.
You had a partner, you had a little best friend or whatever, and so yeah, I mean, it was cool, man. I was sticking it out, I was thugging it out. I loved it, and so I tried to walk on my freshman year, because you have to.
Yeah,
Why
coming
not?
coming out of high school,
Coming out of high school, you got
still
to
got
try
that bug,
something.
bro, for sure.
Still got that bug. I had that bug for a little minute actually. Didn't work out at TSU. Everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's good. This guy's good," but we were a really small team, and one of the best guys on that team, my guy Omar Strong, dude was like 5'9" on a good day. On a good day.
That's small division.
No offense. Oh, if you ever watch this, man, but he's 5'9" on a good day. I mean, sure. I'm doing like interviews like years later and things like that. I'm like, we're like, I'm like, oh, this guy's like 5'6", like for sure. But no, but that guy was a complete bucket. Complete bucket
at a high level. So they be
at a high level too, and that's when I realized I was like, okay,
to it.
there's a difference to this. So that's why I was like, all right, we're gonna focus on the media. But I still have that. I still have that bug. I still have that bug. Actually, I still have that bug. That's when so I did my freshman year at TSU, and then I took a semester off from TSU to come back to Sacramento. And try to walk on a TRC. Talk to the coach over the summer and everything. He said, "Yeah, you got to enroll and come out." I try to finesse it. I try to let me just try out over the summer, and if you like me, then I'll enroll. But if you're not feeling me over the summer, then you ain't gonna be feeling me in the fall. And I could just continue going to TSU.
Was Gio the coach over there? Coach Gio?
I don't like calling out names.
Okay, my bad. Okay, my fault. I got you though. Okay, so you shoot that shot there.
I mean, no, I'm an adult, man. I'm not like I'm not this 18, 19-year-old kid no more. Like I'm perfectly ready and willing to have every conversation.
That's what's up.
But Coach Gio was on the time. I don't know where the miscommunication was, where the confusion was. But no, he told me straight up. I just think I took it the wrong way. So I came out during the fall because it was like some regulations and things like that, NJCA or something like that. It's like you can't try out during the summer or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, but I try to just let him, He's like, nah, can't do it, man. Because like he said, if you end up being the real deal, then it's gonna be find you out ineligible, So he's like, just come out during the fall.
Got you.
If you want to. And he told me what I had to do, and he said, we'll just go from there. So I did all that. And he's like, okay, yeah. He's like, you're good. I like you. He's like, we can use someone like you. He's like, but then that's when he told me, you got to come out in the spring, though.
Spring ball.
Yeah, for spring ball. Me, just coming from TSU and already, like, establishing what I did at a 4-year, going back to a 2-year. Like, I'm thinking about, like my actual life, hey, like if it's not right now this season, I'm thinking you're giving me you're putting out more time. I'm thinking you're giving me the runaround, and I'm not here for that, So
gotta make decisions,
So I had to make a decision. What I do next spring?
Back out there,
right back to Houston.
Right back to Houston.
I was like, it ain't so bad out here. There's other thing. Like, intramural is gonna be fine.
Hey, and intramural is cracking too.
Oh, intramurals is cracking, man.
Fun.
Like
Competitive.
I was telling some kids this, some high school kids this, man, that were like in their senior year, and just everyone asked them, well, what are you doing after high school? Are you gonna? Oh, I'm going to college. Are you gonna play in college? And it's like
they want that. They put that on you though.
Yeah.
To answer that question is tough though. They
answer that question. It's tough, especially when two things. Either they have no business asking you that question. One, and two, when you're like on the verge.
Oh, okay.
You kind of when it's like you should be playing in college, or you feel like you're good enough to play in college.
You ain't got that for sure.
But
I can't give it for sure answer. I can't ask me like stuck. Yeah, that's crazy.
So those are the toughest ones to answer. But I tell the kids all the time, like, you can live your life and go and be a student and start focusing on what you want to do for your career or your major or whatever the case may be.
Still be active in college. You can
still be active.
Activities, do different things.
You can still be known as the person that's in the gym, that's killing everybody in the rec center, intramurals, and all that.
You can make your own name for yourself outside of what you really, especially HBCU life, because it's that much of a community.
Exactly.
Because even one of my boys, he played JC, came to school after, but he was done hooping Division 1, but was killing. But he won the best. Came through the school still. Didn't play for us, but they know that. Like he's the best shooters. Like they know that stuff because it's a small community. Everybody goes to activities too. We got intramural championship games packed.
Exactly.
Everybody in there. Like it's not just a 20-person gym. The gym is packed.
It's packed.
So that experience too, I was like, man, it's more to do. You gotta find your niche though. You know what I mean? And you gotta stick stuff out, man. It's not gonna be easy off the gate, especially from us coming from Cali. And a lot of people come down south. They leave. They don't stay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They don't stick it out down there.
And that was another thing that's what also brought me back. Cause I knew the longer I stayed out here in Sacramento, it would be like the harder it was to get back to Houston and continue what I started. And so I didn't want to face like what if I didn't finish at an HBCU, right? And so I know that's a lot of people's stories. I didn't want it to be mine.
No, but
I went back as soon as I could.
Hey, but you had to step out on yourself too, bro.
Exactly.
Like, people, I'm at that point because some parents, you can stay, but like it took something you to go back. Like, let's be real, it took something you to go back.
I didn't want to stay. Hey, I didn't want to stay.
Let me ask this though, concert wise, bro, what was one of the best concerts you went to? Because HBCU spring concerts would be so dope. Like anyone that sticks out for your memory, like just kind of like I felt like, I had so much fun. Got a few of them.
Damn, concerts. Oh man, see when you say concerts and HBCU in the same sentence, like I still have this grudge, even though I've seen Kendrick multiple times. My freshman year, this is 2012, so he was just coming that dude, but coming from the West Coast, like we already know this is that dude. So I'm just like,
so hard to get them to get West Coast.
Oh, they play it, but not so my freshman year,
who was at the time?
When they bring Kendrick for homecoming, and they charge $70 for a ticket.
What?
And I'm like, wait, what? This is homecoming. I from what I've heard,
it should come out of my feet.
Sources tell me that this is free.
It should be free. I don't remember paying. Nah, I know.
And so,
wow, 7, 8.
I didn't go. Asked my folks. They said, I'm not giving you $70 to go to a concert.
I was
they're like, yeah, I don't have it. Like if I had it, I would.
Yeah.
Cause I want you to have fun, but I don't have it. It was at the time when I had.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Yeah, I'd have a grudge too, because I mean, man, all ours were so had fun. They were
and who was opening? Erykah Badu.
That would been live. That was live.
It was live.
That was live.
I didn't even go.
12, I know, because she was on full everything, every streaming, every platform, every music song.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, hey. Okay. I hope. So I hope y'all giving people free concerts now, man. Don't charge them kids, man.
No, but here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker. Here's what ultimately why I had that grudge, because I had some friends that were in the same boat. They just buckled down and paid that $70.
Well, they just.
They ended up getting reimbursed because the school knew they were wrong for charging kids $70.
That drives it in deep thing right there.
Yeah, and that's
front row.
That's the part that just hits deep. I'm like,
I would get my money back too.
I would get my money back.
That's the college. That's $70. That's meal money. If I got cars, gas money, that $70 gotta go a long way in college, bro.
Man, oh my gosh. So yeah, that's like my worst concert story. But you said you asked for the best. The best is 2 Chainz, without a doubt.
Live.
Without a doubt. Front row. Titty boy. Lie.
He put on a good show though. I saw him out here and stuff. He a lot of energy, a lot of crack. But his energy is dope. I like that show.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it was.
That's what's up.
It was a great time, man.
Especially down south. I know he was rocking, man. I was about to see a lot of people.
And what was great, it was because it was like kind of towards the end of my college career. So it was like 2016, 2017. So you got to really enjoy so like I got to enjoy it because like he's playing hits. It's like, oh man, I remember where I was at what party, at what warehouse, right? Yeah. So like 2 Chainz is a lot of my
that's what's up.
College life.
It's just funny you say that, bro. I came back home, was like, who was this Jeezy dude you always playing? I mean, when I was in Mississippi, Jeezy was big. Yeah, and Jeezy. That was all my like talking trap music. Yeah, like I was in trap music heavy. I still love it today. It's like, bro, but I got them on it. I was like, during that time, that's what it was. People in Mississippi was riding 24s. They riding. They was riding all. Are you in Houston? They riding big. I'm like, y'all won't believe the cars I seen, bro. They sitting up like this. I'm like, bro, it's just. But I was in that thing. I was just looking. You know, I'm saying, homies had some whips like that or some cars. I was watching. You know what I mean? I didn't. You know, but it was like that music was impactful to my time in college too. Like that what got me through. Good, bad, ugly. Road trips, games. I mean, hooping with you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, it was just a time. But again, like I said, that's why it's so those years of HBCU is not forgettable, bro. Because it was so much we went through. You know what I'm saying? We had to get through it together. We had it good, bad, whatever. You know what I mean? So I definitely that's definitely dope, man. Let me ask about just the graduation process, right? In general, you getting that degree. How was mom paying whatever reaction to that? Because I mean, it's really for them too. It's for us, but to see my mom happy, like, oh yeah, my boy did. Like, and I didn't do it. Yeah, we could stay home and did it. We could have probably stayed here and did it. For us to leave them, get under from, as they say, right? Get under moms, whatever. That's a different feeling, I believe, for parents, especially for a mom.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I think it was it was cool. It was amazing for just kind of now that I'm reminiscing back on that day. I had my whole family there. I had not my whole family, but I had whoever could come out. It was my mom, my dad, and my 3 sisters.
Oh.
And it was great, man. It was a lot of bliss that day. And what I remember specifically is obviously my mom's proud. She's gonna be proud of her boy, baby boy, like. But for me, it was seeing how proud my dad was.
Dope.
You know, and
impactful moment. I know
that was a real impactful moment. That's when I really, because at first, like whenever you do something, like
mom's gonna be
like mom's always gonna be happy for you, but like
that's what's up, man.
Like and even when you do stuff like I know I could do this. Like when you score in a game, knowing like I get buckets or like can't nobody guard me on the field, or whatever the case may be, or you hit a home run, right? Or you get that block, that save, whatever. It's always nice. Or like going through high school, you're like I'm not gonna fail high school. Like everyone's life is different. I get it, but like knowing me, we're talking about me here. Like but they made it seem special. And then going through college, like as I was, getting to the winter thing and understanding like what my path is, I was like, oh yeah, the degree is not the issue. It's like, what am I doing after that? But like just being in that moment, that's the part that I want to bring up because to me, like I knew it was coming, and I was
dope. I think so. I don't know how many kids. I mean, students probably. Which I think shout out to the parents too, man. Have you on that path already? Or you got whatever they did to help they guide you, man. You outside your work too, you already guided on the path to where you went outside of school. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I'm not I'm going what's next, man. That's a shout out to you and the parents that are already being like, hey, this is what's going on.
That's a pro and a con about just who I am as an individual. I'm always looking for
like, hey, man.
Once I'm like, what's up? I'm like, all right. I see down the road. Like I see there's an ending here. So like I gotta start preparing for what's next. Right. So I've always been like that. So like me for graduation, I was more so nervous. I'm like, all right, this is it. Like, damn, next is here. Like, all right, what's next?
Turn the page. Like, damn.
Like that's what everyone's gonna be asking. Like, what's next? That's true. So that's where it was more nerve wracking for me. I was like, damn, what's next? But the part that brought me back, to enjoy the moment was really the moment that I had with my pops, and just him being proud that I was his first son that graduated from college, and got his bachelor's degree.
Dope, man.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
I
what I
think
take away from that moment.
for sure. And then like those, I mean, again, it's more that makes all the hard work worth it. Get that feeling from pops and mom and that for your pops and also accomplishment, but also again that just to know you did it. Like people say, people wonder why people go back to homecoming and stuff like that because we did it. Like some people don't make it through.
Yeah, man.
They don't make it through, but to consider the ones that graduate, come back and say I'm alum, to put an alumni shirt on, bro,
on it, yeah.
did that. They be like,
and that's and I don't like want to differentiate because everybody's got their story, man, and
Sure.
like, but I just think there's a big difference from attending an HBCU and graduating from an HBCU.
Say
Like
that. Okay.
love to everybody that attends.
Of course. Yeah.
But man,
If you can stick it out.
major props to everyone that went through their journey and
Yeah.
finished.
Yep.
You
for
know,
sure, bro.
whether you transferred from a community college and went there for 2 years, and whether you already had your bachelor's but you went there for your master's or your doctorate, whether you went there for all 4 years, whether you did like me and went there for 1 year, took a semester off, and then came right back, finished the semester, and then the next 3 years.
Yeah, man.
Like
I think 2
no matter
years
what,
here,
yeah.
and then I transferred. Still had to, all the credits don't transfer, so I had to go back, start over pretty much. It was like, bro, I'm like, but at that point, I didn't know nothing else. I was like, I'm here, I'm in this.
Yep.
I want to try to hoop. I'm gonna walk on. I want to hoop, but also I'm gonna get this because like my sister down the road is saying she about to get her degree pretty soon. I'm like, I got to at least stick with that, you know what I mean? But also this environment, like it was good for me, you know what I mean? But also I tell everybody, school time limit is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Do it on your time.
Yeah.
But also just finish. You know what I mean? So that's something I definitely try to push the people, and also like, especially HBC, just finish, go. Experience we got to experience, but finish that thing, but enjoy that process too. But just know what you like. You ain't go. Know what's next. Think about what's next, because some people get there and they settle in.
Yeah.
And they still around, or they've been there for a while and they do something else. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But definitely something that I definitely again props to you, man, because again. You want the one like, oh, I know another HBCU guy. I know somebody else. We out here in California.
Yeah,
people,
man.
We not be as much as a group. We trying to do some other things together. So I'm glad, like I said, we definitely can try to keep HBCU people connected as well. I mean, it's just all support, man, to get more kids from here to back down south, Midwest, East Coast, wherever it is, man, to go to these schools because they need our kids, man. We need to get down there. California kids, West Coast kids need to get HBCU life, man.
They need experience just something outside of their everyday environment, and that's kind of the big thing. You need to see something different in order to grow. You can't really. I mean, some people can, but I'm a firm believer that the majority of people have to be in something. You have to see something different. You have to be uncomfortable.
For sure, bro.
Like you said, you have to be uncomfortable to really like grow and mature in whatever facet of life that you see yourself in.
Yeah, man. This journalism, this writing, man, this media stuff. You get in there. How do you knock down your first door, man? What was that like? What was your first? I would say not even if it's a job opportunity, whatever it is. What was the first thing you did in that field of work to get you going? If you remember that.
Man, I was so serious, man. Shout out to one of my favorite players of all time, Kobe, man. When you talk about like Mamba mentality, like that's how I played basketball. And I love sports, especially playing sports, because who you are as an athlete, as that individual, that's probably who you are outside and how you like take your job and stuff like that. More times often than not. In some cases it changes, it's different, but more times often than not,
that's in you. It's not just something you do.
Exactly.
Work. I mean, not like it's something. That's how you live. That's a lifestyle. Right.
Exactly. Right. And so that's really how I approach journalism. So when you ask me what's the first thing I did, and when a lot of people ask me what's the first thing I did, I always go back to college and being on the radio at KTSU 90.9 as a producer, and then as a on-air host for our pregame and postgame halftime show. Sideline reporter as well, when they would go back to me different times just for me keeping stats, stuff like that. But I would say that was like my first kind of like intro into the media world.
Do you get as former athletes or self basketball player, is there a rush when you're in the midst of those things, like doing interviews or doing reporting? Is that still just type of, or is it more like non-focused on like, no, that's what I need to get done, or you get that kind of like, yeah, it's a different type of game for me now?
I think it's the same, like, because I used to play too, so it's like depending on like if it's like a game recap, you
Mhm.
know, if I'm asking about a game, then like, okay, I'm gonna ask about a certain
So
point
we
in the
get to pick
game. Like I'm gonna think about like how I would think about it, whether I'm
Yeah.
a teammate or a coach,
Mhm.
or if I was out there myself. Like
Mhm.
that's just the type of interview kind of person I am, though. You
Mhm.
know, if it's like a different moment, then I'll ask about the moment. You know,
Got you.
it just depends. But like,
That's how you get the dope questions, the answers though.
yeah,
It's relatable.
yeah,
You look at it from a different perspective. Player for sure. When I got an answer, I know I've been in these moments, different situations, but I'm gonna ask this player the same question.
yeah,
I want that
man.
real, authentic answer. What he thinking? Hopefully, like how you felt in the moment. So everybody can go, okay, oh, that's good, man. That's Yeah. I mean, that's a plus of being, as they say right now. People are always asking, why not people ask? I see them asking journalists, well, you don't know, or vice versa. I mean, but it is a difference from
Well, nowadays, you know, folks like me are getting killed because I didn't play college
Yeah,
ball
I hear
or
you.
any type of professional ball.
I hear you.
My highest level is high school
Right.
varsity. So
Right.
like guys like me are getting killed saying like I don't know the game and stuff
Right.
like that. And
But it wasn't because of the ability as far as what you were given. You played the cards you dealt with. You were playing. You know what I mean? You did what you. Yeah. If I could have stretched out to be 6'7", I would too.
yeah,
Didn't happen for me that way. But that's not taking away from how much you study the game, how much you practice, how much you watch the game, how much writing you do in your craft, how much
exactly.
studying you do. So I mean, like I said, man, it's just even one of my close friends to this day, man, Chris Haynes. I don't see nobody asking Chris Haynes nothing. That's my dog. You know my dog, but he studies the game. He studies. He know what he does. We play JUCO ball together. We've been around the game, but we've been I mean talking like he talked for years. So we've had experience. We're also being around the game. So it can happen.
Yeah,
I think it's about more so the relationship with her players.
yeah,
Because I'm like, see, you get all the exclusives. He was with Damian, what's called, you know what I mean? He get
man,
the exclusive.
that was a
But
great interview
because
too.
of the relationships, stuff like that, you know what I mean? But also, I think that plays a big part too. As long as you don't mess them bridges up, man. Because some players, yeah, you can't ask the wrong question now. You can't make it feel. I mean, certain things make it
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
yeah, no,
You got to
man.
pick and choose, man. I think.
I mean, but you say that that's why like just in the field of journalism altogether, people always go from sports to news or news to sports.
Mm-hmm.
um when I did my first internship at KPRC in Houston, the NBC affiliate, I remember one of the guys, and one of my mentors there, Kimber Marshall, he said, well, why do you want to go into sports? He said it's a competitive field, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hours are terrible, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, you should just think about crossing over into news.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I appreciate that. I was like, I appreciate that fact. I'm gonna try to stick out in sports though, but I appreciate that fact. And then that nugget was, you know, you do whatever you can to just get in the field of journalism.
Mm-hmm.
And what he told me going into detail of that conversation was, they both cross over really well. And he was the one who told me that, like, sometimes sports guys who go into sports initially make the best, you know,
News.
news anchor
Okay.
or news journalist, and vice versa. Some guys who go into news end up making the best sports journalist or best sports broadcast, best sports personality, whatever the case may be. But no, just him telling me that like always had me thinking like it have to be versatile, and that's something
Yeah.
that I was also taught.
Versatility for sure.
Also, I mean, at my HBCU at
That keeps you
TSU,
more. I mean, that keeps you up there, right? You're in demand if you're versatile.
yeah,
Because if you're not in demand, you ain't gonna have what you gonna work. What you work with? You know what you gonna do. But if you're in demand, you got more options. Your availability, you're flexible. You can do multiple things, bro. That's definitely that's a need even in
so
life.
that and that's really what helped me like just with interviews is going into the news side and just kind of talking to people like on things that have nothing to do with sports,
Mm-hmm.
and like just them knowing like on things that are like more serious, and really having a real conversation and
Right.
them saying like, hey, I don't want that, I don't want that on record, but
Mm.
or saying, but you could say this and things like that. Just kind of creating that rapport, you know, that
What's up?
also helps as far as like going back to sports, what we were
Mm-hmm.
talking about, as far as like building that rapport, like folks knowing like who I am as a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm an individual first. You can always talk to me like as a human being. Like I'm a
Mm.
real dude. Like that's just who I am. And
That's
so
what's
like
up.
I'm not one of those that are like just like looking for an answer or looking to just a smidget of an answer, you know, and
Right.
to run with it and things like that. Like I know those folks are out there, but like that's not me. And that's what I try to get people to really understand. It's like, if I want to have a conversation just because I'm just a genuinely curious dude. Like, I want to know. Like, if we're having a conversation, like, I really just want to know. That's why I asked. Otherwise, if I didn't want to know, I wouldn't ask. And I always tell people, like, yeah, you can tell me, like, you also have the right to say no, I don't want to talk about that, or you can say, yeah, but don't tell nobody this.
We can keep it personal.
We can keep this private, We can keep this. We just keep this private. Or the professional term is, hey, this is off record. Like I tell people that all the time. Like, sometimes I tell them, like, before my interviews, like, just so they know, I'm like, hey, like, I'm not one of them folks that are out here trying to get you. Like, nah, man. Like, I got a job to do, but I'm also, like, looking at you as a human being. Like,
respect factor. It's a whole lot more weight, though.
Yeah,
they'll come back mess with you again. No, you can get a second interview. You can get a third one. You come back. Some people only get that one. Don't call them back. Don't come back my way. Based upon stuff like that. So that's good, man. Let me ask you this though: how are you loving what you're doing right now?
But do I love what I do? Yeah. Why would I get into it? I think there's good times and bad times. I think, but that's part of the growth. That's part of the journey. And I think people should really understand that no matter what you do, there's going to be high times, there's going to be low times. But to me, if you truly love what you do or are passionate what you do, those low times, especially, it's going to be worth it. It's going to feel like it's more worth it when you're doing something that you're actually passionate in, that you can, have an attainable goal, rather than, just not pursuing whatever you're passionate in. Some people, some people's passion is like money or something like that. If you're working for money or just working to get by, then that's your passion.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing. For me, my passion is what I want to do as far as sports, journalism, the whole nine. Like, from when I was 10 years old, I told myself that I wanted to do, seeing the folks, that I idolized, that I looked up to, and this is the outside of the after basketball side as well. Seeing what they're doing, and then kind of crossing paths with folks that are, in the same space as me, or like folks that, like, I've always looked up to. And now I'm, like, shaking hands and saying what's up to them and things like that, or just texting them for advice, and things like that. Like, it keeps the hunger, it keeps the passion going, and it keeps it fueled, because I see that throughout the highs and the lows, like, I'm on my journey, I'm on my path, my journey. And so
that's what's up, man.
So yeah, man, to answer your question, I love what I'm doing.
That's what's up. All right, as you know, in basketball, triple threat, drill, pass, shoot. But for me, at the end of the shows, all right, that's my guest, man. Give me 3 things that people who may know you see this, who don't know, says, give me your triple threat personally for Marcus. What are the 3 things that you can hold your hat on, people, or how you carry yourself? Give me just 3 things that, like you said, that stamp you for being you. Like, they know that's Marcus, or how you carry yourself, or what you believe in, whatever it is, man. Give me 3 things, your personal triple threat.
My personal triple threat? Wow, man. Let the people decide that, man. I'm not really one to talk about myself. I'm really not. I can tell you my story, but, like, as far as what people think about me, what people say about me, I truly don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, because I know myself and I know who I am.
So tell us who you are.
Okay.
There we go. Let's get there. 3 things. Tell me who you are. If you can nail them down. 3 things. Who are you?
Oh man, 3 things. I can't just nail down 3 things. Honest.
Okay.
Loyal. Okay. Ambitious.
Honest, loyal, ambitious. Minimum 3. But those are the good characteristics, man. That's
motivated, dedicated, and that's motivated, dedicated. That's I guess that's 5.
That's all right. Starting 5.
There you go.
Switch it up sometime. You gotta be flexible.
Starting
5.
There you
go.
Got the
starting 5, bro. Hey, on the spot. Again, man, appreciate your time, man. I know we've been back and forth trying to make this thing happen, and I think I know this is the first conversation, but also the much more networking to come. Like, we both in here in Sacramento, we both doing different things, but similar fields of work. But now it's like, let's get to it. What's next? The partnerships collabs is gonna be crazy. Y'all look out for that, man. Whatever we're gonna put together, it's gonna rock. So y'all be on the lookout for that, man. You heard it here first, man. At our place event space, we're in the invitation room, man. I'm TSU alum, man. HBCU, all course state of love.
TSU. I thought you knew.
Look at him, man. Hey, nothing but the best, man. It's love, man, for sure, man. I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming out. Y'all heard it here first, man. Marcus Smith, 94 Feet with Coach JT. We out. Peace.